Something stepped forward. At first, my brain refused to understand what I was looking at. The shape emerging from Unit 214 wasn't a creature. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't even human. It looked like a mistake. Like reality had tried to build a person from memory and failed. The doorway stretched wider as it approached. Not physically. Visually. The longer I looked, the less sense the room made. The walls bent inward. The floor folded over itself. The yellow glow from the lamps had vanished completely, leaving only darkness behind the figure. Infinite darkness. The thing paused at the threshold. And suddenly I understood why the doubles looked wrong. They weren't copies. They were attempts. Practice versions. Like sketches before the final drawing. The thing in the doorway was the artist. And everything else was just practice. My legs locked. My body refused to move. The creature tilted its head. I heard hundreds of voices speaking simultaneously. Every version of my voice. Every age. Every emotion. Every possible version of me. All talking at once. The results sounded like a radio desperately searching for a station. Then one voice separated from the others. Clear. Perfect. My own. You weren't supposed to notice. The words echoed through the mall. Every mannequin suddenly turned their heads toward Unit 214. Not me. The room. The thing. Like they were acknowledging something higher than themselves. Something important. Something they feared. Then the creature took another step. The floor beneath it rippled. Actually rippled. Like the tile wasn't solid anymore. My flashlight flickered. The beam stretched, warped, then pointed somewhere else entirely. Straight at the escalator. The glowing escalator. The machinery below had become visible. Not through openings. Not through gaps. I could somehow see through the metal itself. And what I saw nearly stopped my heart. There were thousands of escalators. Stacked endlessly below one another. Descending forever. A vertical maze disappearing into darkness. And on every escalator, people. Thousands of people. Moving downward. Counting. Always counting. Always descending. None of them looked afraid. That was the worst part. They looked focused, determined, obsessed. Like they had forgotten everything except the count. 41, 42, 43, 44 again. And again. And again. The sound became deafening, an ocean of voices, sea of counting. My knees nearly gave out. Then I noticed something worse. Some of the people below looked familiar. One wore my security uniform. Another had my face. Then another. And another. Dozens of them. Hundreds. Different versions of me. Different ages. Different lives. All descending together. All trapped in the same endless cycle. The creature pointed toward them. Those are the ones who stayed. My stomach dropped. Stayed. Stayed where? The answer came immediately. The loop. The entire mall shook. The lights flickered violently. Storefronts began changing around me. The shoe store became nothing but copies of a single sneaker. The bookstore became copies of one book. The jewelry store became thousands of identical rings. Everything simplifying, compressing, reducing, like a corrupted file losing data. The mall wasn't remembering. The mall was forgetting. And that realization tore me more than anything else. Because memories weren't being stored. They were being erased. Compressed into simpler versions. Simpler copies. Simpler people. The doubles weren't copies. They were leftovers. Fragments. Pieces. What remained after the loop finished digesting someone? The creature took another step. Now I could see its face clearly. Or at least what passed for a face. It changed every second. My face. Then my father's. Then my mother's. Then strangers. Then mine again. Like it couldn't decide. Like identity meant nothing to it. Why me? I asked. My voice sounded tiny. Pathetic. The thing stared silently. Then finally answered. Because you counted. A cold chill crawled down my spine. The escalator. The loops. The obsession. The counting. It had all started because I noticed the extra step. Most people wouldn't have. Most people would have ignored it. But I counted. And once I noticed, The loop noticed me. The creature slowly raised one arm. Every monitor inside the security office switched on simultaneously. I could see them through the office window. Hundreds of camera feeds. Hundreds of versions of the mall. Some empty, some abandoned, some flooded, some burning, some filled with people who never seemed to notice anything wrong. Different malls, different realities, different loops. Then one screen caught my attention. My apartment. Live. Current. The camera showed my living room, my couch, my kitchen, my hallway. And someone sitting calmly in my chair, watching television. My stomach dropped. T was me. Not a copy. Not distorted. Perfect. The double looked comfortable. Like it belonged there. Like it had always lived there. Then it slowly turned toward the camera. And smiled. The same sympathetic smile. The same awful smile. The smile of someone who already knows how your story ends. The creature spoke again. And this time I wished it hadn't. Because the words made everything worse. You're already being replaced. The mall lights exploded. Glass shattered across the floor. Every mannequin in the building simultaneously took one step forward. And somewhere beneath the escalators, something enormous began climbing upward.